What up, YouTube? Asian Persuasion here, and I'm here with my boy Slim.
No.
We're here at YCS Orlando, and we're here with my boy Adrian, who got top 16 playing what deck, my friend?
I played pure Ryzeal.
Ooh, Pier. What made you choose Pier over, Fiendsmith and the Mitsurugi and all the other?
I thought, I sat down one day. I was like, why would anybody ever put Fiendsmith cards on their pure Ryzeals? It was just literally just to show off that they're rich.
Oh, fair enough. That's a fair evaluation.
Shout out to True. That's the opposite of what he told me. It's like, why somebody would ever play pure? It's like, oh, they're playing on a budget.
I'm playing on a budget. Facts.
He compared my deck to Tostina, and I was like, man, Tostina's about to go crazy.
Yeah. All right, bro. You want to do some shout-outs first?
Yeah, shout-outs real quick. Shout out to Ricardo for lending me some cards. My sponsors, TGS, Frank and Vidmar. Shout out to the Bozo Cord. Shout out to Corey James Crowley, the boy. Shout out to my brother Santi for the support for sure. Shout out to the people I stayed with: Corey Brown, James Armband, Will Warland, Trevor Dominguez. Shout out to the sexiest agent I know, Golf. Shout out to you. Shout out to Bill Way for not being here. Shout out to G for being a fellow rogue player playing rogue decks. Shout out to Dinkan Fan for winning the DLC in Melbourne. So now he's going to Worlds for Arcana.
Hell yeah, that's dope.
That guy. That should be all of the shout outs.
All right, man. Let's go ahead and jump into it with all your prize support. Frame, and I'm winning match.
Packs. That's alright. For main deck, you just the standard. These guys.
Standard 10.
Yeah. Nothing special there. I mained 2 cross out and plug-in. No trap in the main. I thought the trap was like good enough, so like I sided it. But in like the main deck, it was like weird because not like everybody's playing like chummies in their main deck. Though I like disagree with that. Like people don't, and I mean like their reason it like makes sense. But I just think like the chummies are like too strong. But that's why I like the trap, and also because trap is a purple card, but the trap is really strong.
Yeah.
This card, one you like kind of want to draw it. Another thing is like sometimes you like banish it off like desires. That's how I lost to Jeff game 1. I banished both of these with desires.
Feels bad.
Yeah, that sucked. Yeah, I mean the card's just like really good. It just means they can have like an infinite amount of hand traps, and it just doesn't matter if you just open this.
Yeah.
So like I wanted to side it there, but there was just like no space. So for consistency, 3 bonfire. Then I played prosperity, 1 desires, and then for another consistency card, it was a small world. So like at least in the main deck, this card like was like really good in testing. Because you have like a lot of monsters with like the hand traps and the chummies and like everything bridges to itself. And I like this more like desires because it's like an actual physical copy of a starter, whereas desires is like people count it as a starter, but it's like really not. You still like have to draw a starter for like desires to be good. Post side, this card could be used to like grab Lancias, grab bells. To like, if you're playing into a Malice board, like this can grab like a bell to like bell GWC and stuff. So like it had like uses post side too. Then like I was a big fan of like 3 desires for sure. I had to like cut one because I like wanted space for like at least 1 more hand trap so that I could play 14. 13 total that like stop dual drive and then like nib. And then, so like that's why one of them was cut, and then the other one like became this card for like the reason I just explained. Like this card is like an actual starter. I drew it once in Swiss, and I mean it just became like a third like name. So like my opponent like tried to like hand trap me like out the game like after. So I played turn 1. He stopped me. Turn 2, he tried to stop me again, and then I just turned like a Lancia into a starter card, and then just full combo. I don't need Lancia like if you don't have any cards.
Yeah, it's true.
So that was that, and I guess for the next card, like we should keep that up. So like going first, this is actually like very scary. Right? You just have like 9 cards that just like punish hand traps. And this is also like how you beat like Fiendspin Ryzeal is like these cards. That's why I like wanted to like max out on them. Like X alone plus like any like one of your 13 hand traps that stop dual drive with like any of these, you just kill your opponent through like their hand trap. So that's like pretty good. And like I played against like 5 or 6 Fiendspin Ryzeals and I just
Scraped all.
Yeah, never stood a chance. Like, so yeah, like all of these cards were like really good. This card's like insane. Crossout's crazy. Codby was probably like the worst one, but like you have to play it. And like I already explained this card being insane. For the hand traps, I mean decked 4 chummies. Just to like respect going second a little more, and I also felt that there would be more Ryzeal than Malice, which like kind of true, but there was like still a lot of people on Malice, which I found kind of weird. But I mean that deck is still like really good. It can still like high roll you and like win for sure, especially like when there's good pilots. Which I mean like everybody that topped was a very good pilot with the deck. So that's why I thought like this was like main deckable, and this is what came in for like a copy of Desire. So like it's going second is just like more draw cards, right? So like it's not like I took out like a draw card for like something that wasn't a draw card. You know, it just made like going second like better. Especially like when you lose a lot of dinos, it's like fine. And like the obvious 3 Ash, 3 Empire, nothing to say about those. 2 Vader. I guess something to say about this is that I cut the third one to like main deck or draw. Like it's like effectively the same because they both stop dual drive. This can like high roll your opponent, but it can also sometimes be worse. But I was also scared of like people main decking this card, so I have it for crossout. And the last card is just like nib. Primarily for crossout, because like the line where you go like X and stuff to like try to kill your opponent against Fiendspin Ryzeal, like I think you like need this card to like be able to cross it out. Not like sometimes it's just good, but for sure I did not want to play this card, but I mean it's like you kind of have to. The card was like not very good. For the side, this card's crazy, ridiculous. I think my win rate, like when I opened this card, specifically when I opened this card, like absurd. It's like probably like 98%. Like,
Jesus.
I think once in testing I lost where I opened this card.
Wow.
And that's because I bricked for like 7 turns. So like my opponent just like summoned the 2K attack beater and just 2000, 2000, 2000, 2000 game. And I'm like, yup, that's game. So these were like the going first cards. Again, like this card was like strong, especially like into like the chummies. So like post side you can side out all the chummies. Because like keeping them in your main deck for cross out is like super neg. Because if you draw them you just feel garbage. So I would put this card in to like combat the chummies. Because like you can either search it or like attach it off the plugin, and then you just XYZ during their turn. So you only have to give them 1 draw into 4 Willows and like 2 draws into the other guy. What is it?
Perelia.
Yeah, Perelia. Yeah. So you just give them 1 less draw than you have to. Obvious 3 Lancia. Sided the other 2 Perelias. This was to respect like the Ryzeal mirror, and also it felt like the best card against the Mitsurugi deck, which I respected like a decent bit. Yeah, this card was like good. And second copy of Draw, Bell, Psycho Reader. So like this is weird, but like I'll throw the like 2 Slayer and like Lightning Storm. Like with like siding patterns, like my side deck was like always for sure D7 cards, which meant I have like 8 cards to like work with to like fill in all the cards I want to take out from my main deck post side, and like fill in with like other cards. So like it like leaves weird space. I mean you can't like allocate cards perfectly, so that's why it's like this ratio. This was like a flex spot that like it kind of like went in against everything. that's why it's like the most generic card. This card's good versus XYZs, obviously. This card was like the best card versus like Kingsmith Ryzeal, like over like more of these. And it's like a card you never ever want to draw once. I drew it like twice. It was like pretty good, pretty good. For the extra, okay, 2 detonator, obvious. I'll go through the obvious ones. 2 dual drive. Probably should have organized this before.
It's all good, bro.
2 twins. I wanted to play 3 of this, but there's just like no space, and like usually it doesn't come up, but like it's like fine. I don't think there's like space for it. So, like the rest of these cards actually like come up.
Yeah.
Like those, that, and not that. So, like these would be like probably what you consider the standard 12. Yeah. So that like leaves for like room for innovation for like the next 3 slots. I play this card. This card is stupid. I summoned this like 8 times. I mean, you just OTK your opponent. Like, it's like really good. It's part of like the X. Like, you don't like X set up your own board. You X kill your opponent through their Fiendsmith stuff. So this card was like really good. Also, just being able to turn these into like not detonator and not dual drive, so that you can summon another one without having to send these to the grave for like node. That can come up. Yeah. So like that card was like really good. Card I see a lot of people don't play is Zeus. I think like pre-Suda that's like fine, but like with twins, what comes up like a good bit is you like have either a lone like dual drive or detonator, or you have both. You can like make these both into twins, attack, make Zeus. You can clear whatever they have, attaching this, and like you already have like a rank 4 engrave, and then trigger the twins to bring back the dual drive, attach, and then detach materials from this. And you'll still have like one under here, so when you activate cross, you're like protected. That came up like a few times in testing. Not at the tourney here, but yeah, it was good. Then the last card, it was either this or like Gallon Granite to like search nib, but I kind of came to the conclusion that when you go first and you go uninterrupted, or like if you're just able to full combo, you should just always be making Dweller blind, like regardless of the matchup. So I took out the Gallon Granite for this card, which is just like spot removal. It's like Castel, but it only detaches 1, which means you can loop it with twins if you have to. This card was like important to like out the Mitsurugi red guy because it has 34 booty.
Yeah.
That thing's like obnoxiously hard to out for this deck for whatever reason. So this one works over Light Dragon because since you return it to the hand, it means that the card becomes unproperly summoned.
Yeah.
Which means they can't like pray or summon it back to like chum block you after that. So,
Heck yeah.
then again, like being able to loop it with twins means you can out it again if they summon it back.
True. All right. Well, congratulations, Adrian, on getting another top 16, and thank you for the deck profile.
Yeah.